Right guys, what's up? Welcome. It is Wednesday night. This is the Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig and we are finally live. On now, dirty girl. Don't you worry about this. I'm on now. Here I am. Welcome to everybody that's in the chat already. Love this new setup that Connor has that allows people to come into the chat before the stream actually starts. Lots for us to get through tonight. We can talk about Joel Matip. We can have a chat about the Champions League group draw. Chat about the results tonight if you want. Whatever the hell you guys want. This is your show. How are we? Cart, Lewis, Dirty Girl, Connor, Scotty, Christopher, Tom, Zach Jones, lots of people in already. Matip is injured, he is indeed. Broken collarbone, which is probably the first thing we should touch on tonight. So it was confirmed, you seen him at the end of the game yesterday, he was writhing around in agony. Purdue just wasn't. I think it was an aerial challenge with the man mountain that is Koulibaly. I'm fairly sure that's what happened. So he went down, he was clutching, well, this kind of area up here I suppose. He went and he had scans today and it's definitely a broken collarbone that will see him out for about 6 weeks, unfortunately. He's going to undergo an operation to sort that out, but it does leave Liverpool in a little bit of a quandary in regards to the centre-back situation. We've got two centre-backs, and Fabinho who can drop in there and play. I just want to take a look to make sure I haven't missed anything in my note. No, that's pretty much it on that one. So 6 weeks it's looking like, much like the Joe Gomez injury. That's a big loss. That's two centre-backs gone out of the four we have. A lot of pressure now on Virgil van Dijk. A lot of pressure on young Dejan Lovren, I was going to say, because I was thinking of Joe Gomez. On Dejan Lovren, big pressure, particularly going into what is a very busy period. And thankfully, VVD being suspended for the next round of the Champions League, we're talking February for that. So we'll have the boys back before that one. But let me know what you guys think of that situation. Would you like to see Liverpool give Fabinho a chance there to cover in some of the games? Because look, the two guys can play every single game. Would you like to see somebody from the youth system, maybe someone like Connor Masterson? Is he even still here? Is he gone out on loan? That tells you how little I know about the youth system and where the players are. Andy cleverly said, "Hiya Craig, great result last night." It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I'm still buzzing off that result last night. Zach said Juventus lost to Young Boys. They did. It was a weird game. I was watching little highlights of it in bits and pieces. It was fairly strange. I look very fucking red today under this light, don't I? Whatever way I have the ring light today, I look very red. I look like I'm about to have a heart attack or something. Liverpool legend said, Craig, I want Real or Porto. And look, we will get into that a little bit later on. I just want to go through this whole Joel Matip situation, the centre-back situation. 62,000 views on the watch-along, said Cart6 last night, which is amazing. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm not over the moon with that. 62,000 views of the watch-along for last night's game. Smashed our current record, which was, I think our record was 34, maybe, something along those lines. So to get to 62, Connor sent me a message last night saying, do you know what, you actually broke the record for the views. And I thought, oh, brilliant. High 30s, maybe even 40,000, but no, 62,000 people watched the watch-along of the game last night, which is immense. It is absolutely immense. Our little family has grown, our little channel has grown. The subs have topped up as well. It's been a very good week for Liverpool. Personally, for me, it's been a very good week, and for Connor as well. And of course for you guys, because this is your motherfucking channel. I'm going to try and calm down my language a little bit. I watched back a few things and I realised that I'm swearing every second or third word. And that's a lot even for me. Nat Phillips to come in said the Revenite, and that's entirely possible, mate. He had a brilliant pre-season as well. I know I keep going back to say this, but he's a big unit of a fella. I'll never forget seeing him in Dublin and turning to Connor and just saying, I did not realise how big that young lad was. He's a big old lump. Charlene said, hello Craig, great to see that Real and United lost. How the hell did Real Madrid lose 3-0 at home? How the hell did that happen? Madness. I think they said it's the biggest defeat in the Champions League maybe ever. I don't know. It's massive. And they lost home and away as well against Moscow. That's crazy stuff. Degsy is capable, so is that. Nah, Degsy is definitely capable. I've seen a lot of hate towards Dejan Lovren over the past 24 hours, particularly for the chance that fell in the last couple of minutes to Napoli. I don't believe some of our fans sometimes. It's madness. Just because Dejan Lovren is in the penalty area, it's always his fault. Always. It's like Jordan Henderson. He's another one of those divisive players that some people will just always turn on. Last night, we were thankful to the beautiful bearded Brazilian Adonis that is Alisson Becker for a tremendous save. And I've got a little bit of the show later on where I want to have a little tip of my hat to Alisson Becker because he's phenomenal. Rudolph, said Evan Guest. I feel like that. I look like that. I'm looking at the screen. I look really red. It's like my blood pressure's about to go through the roof or something. I'm actually pretty chill today. What time are you on the United stand tomorrow, said Lars. 8 o'clock, I believe. Mark sent me a message earlier on. I think it's 8 o'clock we start at tomorrow. Well, actually, I know it's 8 o'clock, so I don't know if that goes out streaming at 8 o'clock or whatever, but yeah, 8 o'clock tomorrow for the United stand. So interesting to go on there, do a preview of the game against United at the weekend with Mr. Goldbridge. I'm confident. I can't be not confident. Like, United are a bit of a shambles at the minute. Liverpool are flying high. But I've said time and time again, going into these games, it doesn't mean anything. Are you on the United stand tomorrow? I am indeed, Mark. As I said, 8 o'clock. When is the draw? Monday. Monday at 11. I think it's 11 a.m. Tom, UK time. I think a player will be brought in as cover. No, Christopher, they won't. And here's why. And I don't mean that to sound dismissive, buddy. You don't bring in players to cover a 6-week period. You don't buy a player, make him move house, bring him to the club, block the pathway of perhaps another young player coming through just to cover a 6-week period. It's very short-term thinking. Now, if we were looking at Joe Gomez being out for the entire season, then perhaps. But I don't see it happening at this point, mate. I think whatever the plans are going to be for January, they're in place already, if there are plans. Now, whether that's for number 10, a wide player, a full-back, whatever it might be, I don't see these two injuries as having any effect on Jurgen Klopp and his transfer business, because it would just be too short-term thinking, and that's not what the manager does. So, Will said, Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona, Porto, Munich, Real or Juventus for Liverpool in the last 16 of the Champions League draws on Monday. Again, I've got a few notes on that one as well for a little bit later on. I'll go through the dates and all that stuff. Craig, our fans need to back Degsy. They could have a clown like Phil Jones in our defence scoring worldies. Did you see the state of that own goal today? What was he thinking? I don't know if any of you watched the Manchester United game. I had the BT channel on the goal show, so I was just seeing the goals as they were coming in. I wasn't watching really any particular game. But the state of that, what was Phil Jones thinking? He basically just passed the ball around Romero into the goal. I've no idea. And I know that a lot of United fans aren't very partial to Phil Jones, should we say, but it was comical. If we do get less than 2 more goals against United, I'll be happy but disappointed. I've wanted to destroy them, and this has to be it. For me, buddy, look, this is where we are. I don't care if we beat United 1-0, 9-8, whatever the hell it might be. I just want us to pick up the 3 points. And I'm treating United the same as any other team, because you have to have that laser focus now. We have to look at every game, particularly home games, as 3 points there that we have to go and get. If that's against United, if that's whoever that's against, at home, we have to be going out to get those 3 points. And United this week are just another team that are coming to Anfield. It's a massive game. Nobody wants to lose. United fans hate losing against us. We, of course, hate losing against them. It's going to be, hopefully, a big game for Liverpool. If we can get through this one, and then we've got 2 more massive games coming up over the next month or so against Arsenal and Manchester City. You know, this could be the period that shapes our season. I can't say defines our season because there's a long way to go. But this month, this next 4 weeks will be a very important part of the season for us and for Manchester City. That will give your subs a boost for sure, says Lazy Demonetization. I've no idea. I never even gave that a consideration. I'm awful for not doing stuff with other people. I'm absolutely awful for it. I'm being asked all the time would I do a podcast here or something there, and my reaction is usually just to say no because it's not really my thing. But this game being what it is, Liverpool, Manchester United, I couldn't say no. I couldn't turn down the opportunity. As Mark said to me when he messaged me, he could have probably got a bigger channel. He could have reached out and got maybe Red Men, I don't know, maybe the Anfield Rap. I haven't got a clue. But he said, come on, do you want to come over and have a chat about it? So I asked you guys. You guys said, go ahead. So let's do it. Let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to chatting. I'm looking forward to see how he thinks the season's going for United, how he's looking forward to seeing the game. I'm sure there'll be a bit of banter along the way. I'm sure I'm going to get absolutely destroyed in the comments, but sure, I'd expect nothing less. I'd expect absolutely nothing less. The good news here, though, is, as I said before, Mark has agreed to come on to the Anfield Agenda after the game, and I don't mean the day of the game. I think it might be a day or two later, to do a bit of a catch-up show and a bit of a review of the game, which is very kind of him, so I look forward to him doing that one as well. And I expect I don't know what you guys will do in the chat or what they'll do in the chat to me, but just as he said to me, I will treat him with absolute respect when he's on here, because joking and laughing aside, we have a job to do. We have to be professional on here. I'm sure he'll treat me properly tomorrow, and I'll do the same when he comes on. The only person I think I'd ever really struggle to do that with is you know who, Mr. Arsenal, Mr. Bully Children. I hope we get Real Madrid, said Matt. I don't think you're alone. Reading today, I think that is what a lot of people want. A lot of people seem to be calling for Real Madrid. They're a bit of a shambles at the minute, let's be fair. They're a bit of a shambles. Phil Jones is the best defender in the world, said Lazy Demonetisation. Now, come on. Am I correct, mate? Did you tell me that you're an Arsenal fan? Is that right? Or have I picked that up completely wrong? I'm sure you told me you're an Arsenal fan, because I remember you writing Spurs and you put an asterisk in instead of the U. What else have we got? What's Trent and Milner's conditions of their injuries? I haven't had an update yet, and I was looking out for the Trent Alexander-Arnold one, because that's a massive one for the weekend. If Trent doesn't play, then what do? Do you give Kleiny a run? Do you stick Fabinho at right back? There are options there. Of course, James Milner could be an option for the manager as well, but you would want Trent available. Our defenders picking up injuries is not what we want coming into this period, but this is why you have a squad as deep as we do. This is why you have 4 centre backs. This is why you should have options for every position for just these occasions. It might happen to you once in a season, but there you go. You have to just make the most of it and get through it. Look at Manchester City now. I mean, they're without Aguero. They've been without Kevin De Bruyne. They're without Mendy. They've got to keep going on as well, and we have to do the same. Craig, every club is shitting themselves at the prospect of playing Liverpool. I love this club. As do I, buddy. As do I. Do you know what's amazing? You spoke earlier on about the 62,000 people that watched the watch along. Well, another record was broken. The Late Night Agenda, which was the show after the watch along yesterday. The record for that one, I think, was around 3,000 views, something like that, which, you know, is high for us for one of these watch along or one of these streams. Last night, it looks like we're going to hit 6,000 for last night's Late Night Agenda or the reaction show to the game. So it just goes to show you the appetite that's out there for Liverpool at the moment. I mean, there's Liverpool fans coming from all over the world now to watch all the content they can get, because when the club's successful, I know personally me, when Liverpool were doing well in 13-14 and last year, I used to listen to every podcast I could get my hands on, every Liverpool podcast, whether that be the Anfield Wrap or Anfield Index or whoever the hell it was. I would just get as much Liverpool content as I could, because I wanted to continue to enjoy the great run that the Reds were on and the great form, and everybody was on a high and everybody was buzzing. And I think that's where we're at now. So people are coming, they're finding the channel for the first time, they're giving us a try. It's brilliant, and it's all because of you guys. Without you superstars coming in here every night, and people always comment to us about how nice the chat is and how nice the subscribers are, and that means a lot to us, because we can do what we do. We can go on here, turn on the microphones and talk, but if people come in and they get abused and they get told to fuck off, they won't come back. But they don't, because you guys are absolutely top notch. So thank you for that one. Without you guys, this wouldn't work. You think if we get Bayern, I think we'd spank Bayern, to be fair, if we got them. And we'll have a little chat later on about the group, or the possible scenarios for Liverpool, the dates of the ties, all that stuff. I have it wrote down to go through later on. I just want to talk about this injury crisis for another few minutes, if that's okay, because it's a big one and I want to know. Let's go worst case scenario here, guys. Let's say that Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't available for the game on Sunday. Who would you play in that back four? You've got Fabinho as an option, James Milner, Virgil van Dijk, obviously, Degsy Lovren in there. Look, we know who's playing left back. Andy Robertson's left back. There's no question over that. But that kind of does leave other positions up for grabs. So hopefully Trent is fine. But let's assume he isn't. Let's go worst case scenario. Give me your back four for that game against Manchester United, please, on Sunday. What else we got? Didn't mean a player's cover. Still think we need a defender brought in. Probably just what I think. I don't think you're wrong in that, Christopher. I mean, a centre back may well be in Klopp's thinking for the summer, because whatever with Joel Matip, and I hate to say, I really don't like to say I told you so with regards to Joel Matip, because it's not really a phrase I use, but I did say that my worry about Joel Matip is always being that he can't get a run of games together. It's not his fault he broke his collarbone. I mean, that's not his fault whatsoever. Just one of those freak accidents. But whether it be accidental or whether it be muscle injuries or whatever, he hasn't been able to get a good run, and he hasn't been able to string 5-10 games together in a row for Liverpool. And that's for me why I always wanted to move him on. He can play, he's quality when he plays, but you need, the good thing about a defensive partnership is they need to play alongside each other. They need to get games together. They need to get into a rhythm. They need to know what to expect from each other. And you don't really get that if you can't play that run of games together. Ham said, evening, gutted to have missed yesterday's stream, but heard it was a record number. Who does everyone fancy in the draw? Again, we will get to that in a little minute. I really want Bayern or Barcelona, said Charlie. 4-1 on Sunday, said Charlene. I'm loving that, Charlene. 4-1 and 4-1 to do very nicely. Roberto, how are you, sir? Credit to young boys. Let's be fair, Roberto, you were very wasteful in that game. Bayern, or not Bayern, Juventus should have won that game easily. Ronaldo was missing sitters, and be fair, they were sitters. He missed one from, I think, 4 yards out. Then he hit a header against the post. It just wasn't. It was one of them days. It happens to every club. AS Empire said, hey guys, I want Bayern, Real or Dortmund. Would you want in the round of 16 and Premier League title? Mark my words. I'm just glad that we're not in the Europa League. Whatever else happens, being in the Europa League will be an absolute nightmare. Robbo, Van Dijk, Lovren and Fabinho for being 40 being. Is that Dave? Is that Dave being 40 being? I wonder if it is Dave. But thank you for that suggestion for the back four. Hit that like button. 108 watching, only 20 thumbs up, said Evan. We'll get there, buddy. Don't worry. There's plenty of time in the stream. Is anyone else getting that annoying welcome to the live chat thing in the chat that Connor keeps asking? I don't know. I haven't seen anything pop up. I've seen something about a warning about the rules or something pop up at one point, Connor. Is this our hardest fixture run? Hang on. Is this our hardest fixture run? Napoli, United, Arsenal, City. Yes, mate. It's a very tough one. You can't argue with that one. City away, Arsenal at home, Napoli at home and United at home. So look, thankfully, 3 of those 4 games are at Anfield. Oh well, in the case of Napoli, it's over with and we got the result. Did you guys see some of those videos on social media about Napoli fans watching the game? There was a couple with a couple of really young kids actually. I'd say they were about 12 or 13, so I'm not going to have a go at those guys. You could see what it meant to them though. But there was one doing the rounds of maybe, I think it was 5 Napoli fans sitting around a sofa watching the game, and they were heartbroken. It was absolutely, I won't say comical because I understand what they were going through as a football fan, but it meant a lot to them, that game, and you could see the disappointment on their face, and then you can see them searching in their head for things to be angry about or people to point the finger at, and that's where we are as football fans at times. It's crazy though. Football means so much to so many people, but if you were to sit down and break it down and explain to somebody why, it's very tough to do without sounding like a bit of a weirdo. Another Shaqiri overhead kick against United would be amazing, says Robbie. That one in pre-season was especially delicious. I want us to buy Florenzi, said Bassett 12. I'd play Milner if fit, Lovren, VVD and Robbo, said Steve Lyons. Fabinho at right back, said Stephen Richards. Do you think Gomez will be back in time for the Arsenal or City game? It's tough to say with a fracture, Gary. If it's a muscle injury or something, then a lot of the times they have to be a bit cautious about what they're saying because, you know, you could get a knockback. But with a fracture, it's probably more predictable. I'm just guessing here. I'm not a medical professional. I would say that the 6 weeks will probably be there or thereabouts. So I don't know if those games fall within that 6 weeks or not. I imagine that they probably do. So if they do, then I'd say, you know, he won't be available for them. I just want to make sure I haven't missed some more comments, so bear with me. Lars has gone for Fabinho, Lovren, VVD and Robbo. No fear, no team bringing them all. What else have we got? Trent got a knock on his foot. Somebody retracted a message, a 199 message. I don't know who that was. I'll play Milner right back if fit, Lovren, VVD and Robbo. I want us to buy Florenzi. I've done that one. Matt's gone for Robbo, VVD, Lovren and Milner. This is where Raggy could have been useful, said Steve. And look, I chuckled at that, but you're right. But at the same time, it's where Nat Phillips could come in and be useful. Is Masterson at the club or did he go out on loan? I was trying to think of that earlier on and I couldn't remember for the life of me if Conor Masterson went out on loan or if he's still here. But he's another one that Klopp thinks very highly of. Oddly enough, I have confidence in all of them at the moment, so I don't care who we play, says Rod. Rod, how are you, sir? I see you've got up that tree and found that signal. Great to have you on. Hope you enjoyed the game, if you got to watch it. Although I think you remember you saying you just got the result. But it was amazing. We watched that on your behalf, mate. It was class. It was one of the most tense 90 minutes I can remember for a long time. But it shouldn't have been. There was no real reason for us to be tense, because bar that amazing save by Alisson at the end, we limited them to very little and we created an awful lot. It was our own wastefulness, I suppose, that left us in that position at the end. I put up a post on Twitter asking people, I put up a shot of Milik just about to strike the ball, and I asked people for one word that was going through their mind just before Milik took that shot and Alisson saved it. And the word fuck was the word that basically came back over and over and over again. Oh, actually, Johnson was another one, another well-used word. People had flashbacks at Chelsea in 2005, right at the end, where Johnson slapped that one across, and how that missed the post, I'll never know. Robbo VVD loving it. Fabinho made his name in Europe playing trade at right back, said Evan. He did. Played there for Monaco, and didn't he play there at Real Madrid, Evan, if memory serves me correct? I think he played at right back there. Get Madrid to Anfield and Ramos can feel the wrath, said Nabil Fekir. Gary's convinced we're getting Porto. And on that one, so look, let's have a chat about the Champions League draw, because that is the main topic of our stream tonight. That is what the thumbnail was all about. So here's the list of potential opponents that Liverpool can play in the last 16. Somebody put it in the chat a little bit earlier on. Dortmund, Barcelona, Porto, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich or Juventus. So that's a tough list. That is a very, very tough list. On that list, look, the obvious team you want is Porto. Dortmund is going to be a very tricky game. Barca, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Juventus. All of those teams, it's going to be a very, very tricky game. I wouldn't mind playing Bayern Munich because we haven't played them in an awfully long time. So I wouldn't mind getting Bayern Munich. The easiest draw is Porto. Like, we can try and be nice about it, but it is the easiest draw. The hardest draw on that for me, I wouldn't mind, or I wouldn't like, I should say, to go and play Juventus. I'd rather play Real Madrid than Juventus. But I honestly feel, looking at that list, that we are capable against any of those sides. Absolutely any of them. I'm not saying we can go and hammer them, but none of them would really strike fear into me and make me think that we're going out. I'd go into every single one of those games thinking Liverpool have a chance. Now, when will the fixtures take place? A lot of you were saying earlier on. The first leg, the last 16 first leg ties will take place on February the 12th and 13th or February the 19th and 20th. So it's split. They're going to stagger this one. So rather than having them all on one Tuesday and Wednesday, they go 2-2, 2-2 or something like that. But they stagger them over the course of 2 weeks. Bean says anybody but Juve and Barca. The second legs are going to take place on March 5th or 6th or March 12th or 13th. So just to reiterate, February 12th and 13th and February 19th and 20th will be the first legs. And then March 5th, 6th and March 12th and 13th for the second leg. So again, lots of time. No way we want Dortmund. What's Louis Two Shoes mean by every time it pops up, mate? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the thing Connor said. Is that it? Sorry. Okay, I'm just going to check a couple of things. So guys, let me know who you want in the draw. Let me know who you'd like to avoid as well, because it's easy enough to say who we'd want, but I'd also like to know who you'd least like us to play and who worries you, if any team worries you in that draw. Where else have we got? Done that one. What are your 4 options for the draw on Monday? Or what are our options? Sorry, we've just gone through them. I felt sorry for the Napoli fans on Twitter. They deserved it more than PSG. It was tough. I mean, you could see how much it meant to them. It could have easily been us. I mean, that could have been Napoli fans showing the Anfield agenda or Redmen TV or another Liverpool stream reacting and being downhearted. Thankfully, it wasn't. Thankfully, it was us that was happy. But you do have to feel for fans at the same time. One Napoli fan was in tears at Anfield in the first half after Salah scored. I've seen that, Paul. He started off with one little tear and then it really, really worked up and it was just, floods of tears. But football means a lot to people. If Arsenal can play better than they did in the first match up, I think they can win, said Lazy Demonetisation. One of the Napoli fans on the sofa said Vaffanculo, which means fuck you in Italian. I studied Italian for 3 years in school. Yeah, I don't know what to say, Charlene. I mean, I cursed probably 25 million times more than he would have if I was watching that game, which I was. And if you watch that back, I'd love to know how many times I used bad language, so I wouldn't hold it against them standing up and cursing. Looks like Milner will play right back against United, said Ferno. And Liverpool legend said, I don't want Dortmund. I like Klopp's former team and I want them to go as far. Luke Hand, how are you, sir? When we get Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain back, he's going to be like a new signing. He's been out for so long, said Conor McCracken. He has, it's been. But again, mate, I'd ask that you take your time with him because it's going to take a while for him to get back to his best. We mightn't see it for 6 months. Could be even longer. I don't feel sorry for any other fans if they don't feel sorry for us, said Stephen Richards. Anurag, how are you, sir? He said, love from India. Great to have you with us. Again, excuse me if I mispronounce your name. I didn't do it on purpose, but thank you for joining. Messi got back from a fracture of an arm in 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, but he doesn't play on his. Are you talking about Matip here, or are we talking about Gomez? Because Gomez in his leg, I can't see him getting back that quick. But yeah, maybe you're right. Messi got back in 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know, mate. You must be right because you've got the fact from somewhere. What's this? Top Liverpool can be top Arsenal. The question is, will it be top Liverpool? It's going to be a cracking game. The games against Arsenal always are. But look, that's a little bit away. Let's have a chat about Manchester United, Champions League draw and stuff like that. As you can probably hear, my voice is still a little bit gone from last night. I'm struggling. Not going to lie, I'm struggling to get the words out. You missed my super chat, Craig. There's 2, it confuses me. I don't know what's going on, Sean. It said 199, then it said message retracted, so I haven't got a clue what's going on. Maybe Connor can explain. If you do have any questions, buddy, by all means put them to us. I know from the way your message is coming through that you're using an Apple device, because anyone using an Apple device, it seems to end in 99 rather than a round figure. So from that much, I think you're using an Apple device. But if you have any questions on super chats or anything, we do want to try and help, mate, of course. So please do ask myself or Connor and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Can we get Leon in the round of 16? No, because they finished second in the group, so we can't get them in the round of 16. They just about got through today, actually. Drew 1-1. Not ideal, but Genie could play right back if really stuck down the line and could get Keita into midfield. I haven't seen a single person suggest Klein yet for right back. Not a single one. Keep it up, sir. Love from India. Thank you very much. Thank you. Honestly, I know I was speaking to you a moment ago, but it does mean a lot to know that we have people tuning in from all corners of the world. So thank you, and I hope you continue to enjoy it and continue to post in. We'd love to hear your comments as the season goes on. Liverpool versus Dortmund is a game for the quarterfinals and semi-finals, even the final. A nice tie against Dortmund would be lovely. It would. Let's not lie. Home and away against Dortmund would be excellent, and it will be 2 immense games of football. Sauce Overload, only team that finished was apart from PSG and City. And any English teams. I know you said City, but we can't play any English teams in the last 16 either. Give me Madrid so Dejan can twat Ramos back to his mother's you-know-where. Imagine slapping up Porto 5-0 in the round of 16 twice in a row. That would be delicious. Absolutely delicious. And if they seen us come out of that draw, they would just want to give up, wouldn't they? Imagine getting Liverpool 2 years in a row and getting smacked like we beat them 5-0 away. That was one of the best European performances, full stop. Absolutely tremendous. And Sadio Mane hat-trick as well to boot. What a night that was. Brian said Real all day. They're there for the taking at the moment. Don't want Dortmund or Barca. Phantom Cross said I hope Porto, because we got them and I think they won't have a chance in the first leg. That'll do me without big Verge. That's a good point, actually. Just a reminder that we won't have Virgil van Dijk available for the first leg of this last 16 tie because of the yellow card yesterday. Liverpool legend said I think we can beat any of those teams. The thing is, some are so much better than others. Madrid with the second leg at Anfield, you could see them collapsing under pressure. Am I right? I was asked this yesterday and I don't think anybody was able to let me know, and I forgot to research it. Is Liverpool automatically away for the second leg because they finished runner up in the group? Are the seeded team going to be at home for the second leg? Does anybody know that? I'd imagine that's the case, but I don't know for sure. Evan said, round of 16, I like a European spectacle, and there's no better script than Dortmund versus Liverpool. It has all the right minerals to produce something special. Alternatively, Bayern. Yeah, I'd like Bayern because it's been so long since we played Bayern Munich, and I feel it's a game that we can win as well. I would like to avoid Juventus, said our friend from India, and I can understand why. Juventus that would be a tough game for anybody to get through. I worry about Juventus and Barcelona, said Phantom Cross. I'd like to play Porto, said our friend from India as well. Guys who was strong from Barcelona and Juventus, Porto, Real or Bayern, said Shabir. Fuck the Napoli fans, thought that was Gaza crying in the away end, said Stephen Richards. Roma lost to Victoria Pilsen 2-1, said the Revenant. I've seen that. And a red card right at the end for Roma as well. There's talk that Di Francesco might be getting the boot there soon. The results just aren't go well for Roma at all, and do you know what? I don't care. I'm sick of that club. I'm sick of that whinging. I like them for loads of other reasons. I like that they seem to be a classy club, but the bitterness of the way they went out last year didn't sit well with me personally. When would you prefer a home leg to be? First home leg worked out in their favour versus City. Well, that's what I was asking him, mate. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody has replied, but I'm not sure if, because we finished second in the group, our first leg is automatically a home and away for the second. What team would you pick for? It's Sunday, Cameron. The game is on Sunday, and we will go through that a little bit later on. I reckon he'll go with Milner again, but I play Fabinho at right back, said Brian. I think he'll go with James Milner as well, if I'm being honest, Brian. If Trent isn't available, I think James Milner will start at right back. What's up, boys? Can't wait to bother them dirty Manx, said Eganito. I'm looking forward to the game, pal. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to act too confident going into it, but you have to look at this game and think, with the way we're playing, with the form we're in at home, that we have to be favourites going into this game. And that doesn't mean anything. All that matters is what happens during the 90 minutes, but you would have to feel that Liverpool were favourites. Connor said, I'd say read out the super chats the second they come in. I didn't see anything on it, Connor, mate. I didn't get down to the super chat. I didn't get to my part of the screen yet. Just realised, blah blah blah. Klein will be rusty. Don't play him the first team action, so he won't be standard. How about Henderson at right back, said Neil Anthony. Don't want people's heads to fall off, pal. Brian said, I believe that's correct with regards to Liverpool being at home for the first leg. In that case, it's going to be tough. I mean, going anywhere away for a second leg, if the game is tight, is going to be very, very tough. I believe we can do it, but we're talking about Dortmund there. We're talking about Juventus. Going away there for a second leg, it's going to be loud. The atmosphere is going to be intimidating, much like we've been at Anfield, so you'd hope we do a job in the first leg. Is VAR being introduced in the round of 16, said Stephen Richards. Did somebody mention that actually? I think that might be the case. I think they have rushed it through. I could be wrong on this one, but I think you're right, mate. I want Bayern or Real. We can beat them easier than others. We can also help Barcelona, friends in Spain and Dortmund by destroying their form. Hope we get Roma and twat them for Sean Cox, said Stephen. Well, look, to be fair to the club, I had nothing to do with Roma as a club. Cool, thank you, Connor. I got your message, by the way. Craig, if Trent doesn't play on Saturday or Sunday, Klein doesn't get picked. He's on his way out, in my opinion. I think he is on his way out. I think he's on his way out, full stop. I'd be amazed if he's still here after January, if I'm being honest. He's been linked with Cardiff, he's been linked with Fulham, and a couple of other clubs. Dortmund would be great, said Charlene. VAR is in, it's been introduced at the latter stages of the competition, said Heme. So there you go. VAR coming in, which is brilliant, which is what you want to see, because you're getting to the nitty gritty now. They're getting to a serious part of the season. Shay said Klein is injured. I'm kind of nervous for the United game. Last season, Lovren was targeted by Lukaku. Maybe we should start Fabinho in DM as protection. Yeah, the midfield, look, we'll talk about it. There's lots for us to get through, and we'll look ahead to the United game. I mean, we've got tonight's stream, tomorrow's stream. We've got loads of time to go through it. And as the week progresses, we'll get to know what players are available for Klopp and who isn't. GD Raggy said yes, VAR will officially be introduced around the 16. I'd rather the away leg is second, so VVD be back, which again is a good show. I take Bayern, Madrid or Porto. When are you doing the video with Mark? Tomorrow. I'm going to be on the preview show at 8 o'clock. I think it is tomorrow on the United stand. Excuse me, I couldn't get the words out there. 8 PM tomorrow. I think that's what time I'm going on at. I don't know if that's what time the show goes out at, but 8 PM is the time anyway. Van Dijk suspended, Matip and Gomez injured, Lovren and Masterson. Yeah, Van Dijk suspended for the first leg, but at the same time we should have Gomez back by then. I mean, you're talking February, he should be back by then. Yes mate, I am on the United stand tomorrow at 8 o'clock apparently. 3-0 against the Manx, said Liverpool legend. Guys, there was something that came up today that I wanted to have a chat about, and I think a lot of you will have probably seen it floating around. If you're on social media, if you're on Twitter in particular, I'd say you would have seen this video. So there was a video emerged last night of a group of Spurs fans being treated very heavy-handedly in Barcelona by the stewards. And I've got a real fucking gripe about stuff like this. The stewards, I don't know if you've seen the video, but if you didn't, I'll describe what I'd seen. And of course, any video can be doctored, any video can be cut short, and we might have missed stuff. But it certainly looked as if very little was said by the Spurs fans that I seen, and then the batons came out and they were treated very heavy-handedly by these stewards. And it's not the first time. I've seen this before. This isn't the first time that I've seen English fans be treated that way in Spain. And it's very easy for us to jump on and say, oh fuck Spurs, or oh it's United, screw them, or whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, I keep saying this, first and foremost, we're all football fans. We can't automatically point the finger and vilify our own group of fans, or our own group and our own sport. It happened to Liverpool, it happened to Manchester United when they were in Sevilla. Both sets of fans were treated heavy-handedly by the stewards. It happens in Spain quite a bit when teams travel. I've been looking up on this. I don't want to point out any particular club or anything like that because that's not fair and I don't have enough facts to do that. But if you've seen this video, I think you'd agree with me that it was absolutely unnecessary and there was no need. And why have stewards got batons as well? Can we have a chat about this? I don't remember going to any games in England and seeing the stewards there standing with batons like the police have. I don't remember seeing that before. Are these private security that are hired in or something else? And it just seems completely heavy-handed to me, completely unnecessary. And I think something has to be done about it because that's Spurs, that's Liverpool and that's Manchester United that I know of that have gone to Spain and been treated very, very heavy-handedly by the security. And I'm sure there's a lot more. And I can't go on. It's unacceptable. It wouldn't happen here. There is no way that a group of stewards would do that to a travelling set of fans here. No way. I've seen it a few times. Sean, got a few diet chavs. I'm off, lads, going to work. Sean, thank you, mate. Enjoy. I won't say enjoy work, but you can't enjoy work. But enjoy yourself, mate. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for watching as always, buddy. And we'll catch up real soon. Yeah, but back to that, guys. Back to the whole thing of in Spain. That's ridiculous. It cannot happen like that. And I know it's easy for us to say, oh, it wasn't us. But it might be us next time. It might be Liverpool fans in the future. It's crazy. I want to know your thoughts on this. I want to know if you've seen the video. I want to know how you feel about it in general. I've seen a few people say that the Spanish hate us. Well, I say hate us, I'm Irish, but maybe they hate all football fans. Maybe they hate all travelling football fans. I don't know. But I want to know your thoughts on it because it really annoyed me seeing this. It annoyed me when I seen it happen to United fans. It annoyed me when I seen it happening to Liverpool fans. Sir, we have a very tough work on our hands. We'll either face Dortmund, Barca, Porto, Bayern, Real Madrid or Juventus. Yeah, the draw is certainly tough. Wear your best chav top tomorrow night, Craig. Stephen, it won't matter what I wear. Mate, I'm on Skype. I'm not going to be on video. So I can literally sit there in my pyjamas and it won't make any difference. You're only going to hear my voice. You're not going to see me on there. I'm feeling confident about Sunday, said Charlene. So am I, but I don't want to be too confident. Craig, I'll be over there supporting you from the United stand. Thank you, Scotty. But I won't be able to see any of the chat either because I won't be watching the stream. When I do stuff like this, I just kind of sit there, have no screens on, have my headphones on, have my microphone ready, and just talk. I don't like to read comments. I don't like to do anything like that because I like to focus on the questions I'm being asked because my little brain needs time to take over. So if you do come over, brilliant, thank you. But I'm sure it'll be fun. It's always fun. I love talking about football, so wherever that is, it's always going to be fun. And there aren't many bigger games during the season than Liverpool United, so I look forward to it. I've said it many times, security guards, stewards, bouncers are just licensed thugs, said Nabil. I think our front three would frighten the Juve defence. Everybody thinks Porto are the weakest side, but they're flying under Conceição and look very strong. Yeah, but come on, Charlie, let's be fair. We've a much stronger squad than Porto. If they've improved, brilliant. And I'm not going to even claim to know if they have or haven't because I don't watch Portuguese football very often. But at the same time, we'd have to fancy ourselves if we got Porto. I really think it might be 1-1. I hope not. Man United are a bogey team, said Andy Robertson. Craig meets Mark. This is more intense than the McGregor versus Aldo build-up. It really isn't, Paul. Honestly, it's going to be quite chilled. It's just going to be a chat about the game. It's nothing too intense at all. Craig, the Spanish hate us, said Stephen Richards. How much I wish Alisson was there last season in Kiev, said Malcolm. I think a lot of us would, mate, but it is what it is. We are where we are, and we should be just thankful that we have the guy now because he's an absolute superstar. Juventus lost today because Dybala didn't start when he came on the second. 2 goals in 9 minutes, but the second goal was disallowed because of Cristiano, and it was rightly disallowed. Ronaldo was in an offside position, jumping up and down in front of the goalkeeper, trying to get a connection on it. He's just still a little bit too greedy at times, Ronaldo. That's just one of the faults I've always had about him. But I know saying that sounds silly because, you know, when you're a striker like that, when you score as many goals as he does, you kind of have to be a little bit greedy, don't you? Spain really doesn't want us to leave the EU, said G.I. Jose. Jay Beckford wants Juventus or Real Madrid. He'd like to play either of those. Be 2 cracking ties, mate. I mean, just the list of teams that we can play. It's delicious. I'm really looking forward to it. It's good and it's bad that there's such a gap. It's good now because it gives us time to focus on the Premier League. And of course there's the FA Cup game against Wolves as well. But at the end of the day, European football is pretty damn tasty. So having that to look forward to at the end of February is always a bonus. Spanish police are a disgrace, Craig. I used to live in Gibraltar in Spain and they hated us there. Police are gangsters. They beat up prisoners. This are rumours, but these rumours I've heard all my life. Honestly can't speak about police, mate, because all I've seen last night in this was stewards or security. It didn't seem to be police from what I've seen anyway. And from my experience in Spain, and I've never lived there, but I've been to Spain in excess of 20 times. Because the only place my dad would go on holidays when we were growing up. So I've been to Mallorca, got so many times. I've been to mainland Spain as well. Is there 2 sets of police? Is there like the police for the touristy areas, and then there's the state police or whatever they are? I think I'm right in that one, but I could be wrong, but I think I might be right. The Spanish hate the English, conquered all of Europe, 5 times United winning, Spurs 3, Arsenal. Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that the Spanish don't really like the English, but that doesn't make it acceptable. I mean, if the Spanish have a chip on their shoulders about the English, fine, whatever. But at the same time, these are people that need to be treated and have rights and should be treated properly with respect, because they weren't being rowdy that I seen in this. They weren't doing anything that any other sort of football fans wouldn't do. And like, why have I've nothing to make me want to back Spurs. I've no vested interest in this. But what I seen in that video did not deserve the reaction that they got. And I've seen more and more videos of other clubs as well, and it's just not right. You're football fans, you're going to an event. You wouldn't go to a concert and be treated like that. I mean, you wouldn't go to see fucking Jay-Z, Rihanna, fucking Backstreet Boys, Take That, Garth Brooks, whoever the hell you want to go and see, and be treated like that going in or out of the event. There's not a hope in hell. So why should it be acceptable for football fans to be treated that way? Particularly as we all know that when the shoe's on the other foot, when those guys travel over to the UK, They're going to be given the utmost respect by the police. They're going to be escorted to and from the stadiums or whatever, and they're going to be brought into the game, and they're not going to be treated in such a heavy-handed manner. It can't go on. It's ridiculous. It's unfair, and something has to be done about it. And as fans, we all need to get behind each other on this one, and let people know, let the authorities know that it just can't continue. These are people. Like, you can't just say that football fans are all thugs and let that be the end of it. It's just not right. And thankfully, there are some brilliant people working and to back fans' rights and to change these things. And I don't know who they are. I remember listening to somebody on the Anfield Rap speaking about it before, and she worked with fans as well, and she was so eloquent and so brilliant in the way she spoke about it. And I only wish that I could remember the lady's name and who she was attached to, because she was phenomenal, and it was a very interesting podcast actually. But it can't go on. I know I just keep saying that it can't go on, but it's disgusting. Like, I cannot believe that it's allowed to happen, and shoulders are just shrugged, and that's the end of it. Oh well, sure, it's only a few stitches for this fella, or that fella only had his jaw broke with a baton, or actually they only missed the game because 7 of them had to bring their mate to hospital because he got battered outside. It's crazy. Which defender do I think we should sign? Nobody at this moment in time. Defender is not at the top of my list personally. I only want us to sign a 10 or an attacking player. We have a 6-week period where we're without 2 centre backs, and that is where we are. But I wouldn't buy anybody just to plug a hole for 6 weeks, and I don't think that type of short term thinking is something Jurgen Klopp would do either. But I also do understand people that would say that we may have gone for a centre back in the long term, and that probably is correct. But maybe those plans might already be in place for next summer. So again, we'll just have to wait and see, and this is just my opinion. And my opinion means absolutely nothing. But all I can do is give you what I think. I have a feeling United might win, but Liverpool are the favourites, said CD Reggae. Well look, Liverpool haven't lost at home in the Premier League in nearly 2 years. So I'd be very, very, very confident of us not losing anyway. Whether we win, I hope so. We should do. On form we have to be the favourites. But look, it's Liverpool versus United. Form goes out the window. I don't mind Bayern plays at Dortmund. They look scary, to be honest, said Malcolm. Sorry, Craig. Had to go take meds. What did I miss? We were just talking, Charlene, about the treatment of those Spurs fans by Spanish stewards at the game against Barcelona. I don't know if you've seen the video. It's on Twitter. It's doing the rounds. I've been trying to support the video and share it as well. It's crazy. It's ridiculous, and it just cannot continue to happen to fans who are travelling over to Spain to watch games of football. The Spanish are mad all the same, said Eganito. What attack do you think Mourinho will go with? I don't know. I've been thinking back and forth on this. He'll play Rashford, I think. And I'd be interested to hear what the United fans have to say about this one tomorrow. I think he'll play Rashford. Whether he goes Martial or Lukaku, I honestly don't know. I think he'll probably likely to play... it's tough. It's really... I've been looking at the last 5 selections that Mourinho's made for United, and I can't see anything that makes me think I can predict the team that he's going to put out at the weekend. Maybe Mark or the United fans will be much better placed to give me this information or what they think, but yeah, it's a tough one. He has to start Lukaku surely, but then he's in shit form. Martial, I don't even know what form Martial is in because I don't pay that much attention to United. I mean, I'm only there really to give a Liverpool perspective on this. I very rarely watch United, so I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me what attack you're expecting them to go with. What I will say is, I believe every time they take to the field and Juan Mata isn't in their team, I believe it's a mistake. Because if you have a player of the quality of Juan Mata, I think he should be playing there. And especially if you're looking to keep the ball, if you're looking to kill game offs or play that killer pass in behind, I think Juan Mata is an excellent player to have. And I don't know why he doesn't play more for United. Maybe I'm just missing. Maybe the games I'm missing he just isn't playing or something. The Guardia Civil is the main police force and they're ruthless, said the Revenue. I've ordered new undies for the next round, said Stephen. Good man, Stephen. Best to get them in early, pal. But you should have waited. You probably would have got a pair for Christmas anyway off somebody, so you probably could have waited and saved yourself a few quid. He won't go with an attack. It'll be long balls to Fellaini and Lukaku, said Brian. Klopp will be reading his how to hack Jose's bus while having tea with Pep. you know, he could shock us, and it's not unusual that Mourinho goes with something absolutely off the wall to try and throw people with his team selections and stuff like that. So God knows what to expect. In the summer, in the pre-season, he picked an intentionally shitty weak team just so we could moan about the standard of the two teams and say that Liverpool had a much more experienced side out because he knew he was going to get a kicking. Will he do the same this weekend? Will he go? Will he play Pogba? I don't know. Played him tonight. Does that mean he won't play him at the weekend? What if it's Barcelona versus Liverpool? That will be a very, very entertaining game that I'd really look forward to seeing. I mean, Mo Salah, Mane and Firmino up against Messi, Coutinho, maybe Dembele, Suarez. I mean, you just have to lick your lips and say that that's an amazing game of football. Sam, how are you, sir? Great to have you in. Mane's a cert to score on Sunday, said Skipper Dog. I think so. He's going to want to put right a few wrongs from that game last night. Although, look, he got into the positions. It's easy to criticise him for missing, but he has to be in the right frame of mind and he has to be in the positions to miss these chances. So it's always a good sign when your forwards are getting into the right positions. Honest opinion, if we score first, it could be a hiding for them, said Christopher. Matt is their danger man, said Sam. Craig, is that big dope Pogba playing on Sunday? I don't know, Stephen. He played tonight. I don't know if that means he won't play on Sunday. Your guess is as good as mine. Much like trying to second guess a Klopp team, it's very hard to second guess Jose Mourinho team by the looks of things. Andre said Mourinho's tactics for Sunday: defensive play with counter attacks and long balls to Lukaku. Will target our right side, aka Lovren and Trent, like last time. Mata will start because he can take free kicks, said Brian. Pre-season was good, but let's do another 4-1, said Liverpool legend. Spurs will win the league, said Joe Williams. Good man, Joe. Love that positivity, mate. It won't happen. I mean, it really isn't going to happen, but I mean, I love the positivity. Guillaume Balaguer was very fulsome in his praise, by the way, for Spurs last night, saying it was one of the best away performances he's seen from a side at the Nou Camp in many, many years. Obviously, a lot of Liverpool fans were very quick to jump on and remind him of the 2-1 where Liverpool beat them. You know, the nutter with the putter game where Craig Bellamy scored, and you know, the John Anarisa thing. But I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a full Barcelona side, but that still doesn't take it away from Spurs. Spurs had to go there last night and get a result, and they did. So credit to them. I'd play Fabinho at right back against United, said Andre. I think we'll probably see James Milner, if I'm guessing. Coutinho back to Liverpool, hanging out with Firmino, Fabinho, Moreno and Alisson. Yeah, that isn't happening. He might come back for the game, but he's definitely not coming back to the club. You guys think Milner can fill in at centre-back for a while? I wouldn't doubt it. I haven't thought about it, but I'd never rule James Milner out being able to play anywhere, mate, because he is just so proficient and so tactically aware that I think he could play in any position on the park other than goalkeeper, and even at that, I wouldn't say no. Oh, PS4 Gaming HD said you're gay. Well done, mate. You trying to chat me up here? Do you want my number? Is that where we're going with it? Do you fancy a bit of this, huh? Do you fancy a bit of this? Do you fancy a bit of this, sailor? You're gay. Will you stop, for fuck's sake? You gotta come at me better than that. You're gay. My 6-year-old son could come at me with better than that, mate. It should be PS4 Muppet, should be your name. PS4 Muppet HD. If they park the bus, they'll get the Copperberg out, said Rod. I'll take Porto again, said Nelson. A lot of people loving the Porto one. A lot of people wanting Porto. But, as was pointed out earlier on, they have improved. Somebody said they watched a lot of Porto and they've improved under the new manager, so I don't know. There's no easy games in the Champions League. Everyone says 4-1, just like me. I love how confident we are these days. Up the fucking Reds, said Charlene. 3-0 to Liverpool. Phil Jones score a hat-trick, said Liverpool legend. Wow, I still can't get over his goal tonight. I mean, ridiculous. Craig, to be fair, Barca had already topped that group. Oh no, absolutely, Christopher. I mean, I'm just trying to give Spurs a bit of credit here. I was genuinely trying to give them a bit of credit. I wasn't trying to undermine anybody. Spurs, yeah, look, the Spurs had to get a result and they got it. I mean, you've got to give them credit. It's not up to Spurs who Barcelona play. Spurs can only play what's put in front of them. And they went and they got what they needed to get. I'm shocked that Inter Milan couldn't win at home against PSV Eindhoven. And if they couldn't do that, then they didn't deserve to go through. Spurs went, got a result at the new camp. Fair, folks? Craig, Man United team for Sunday, 11 buses parked already. VVD put Lukaku in his pocket, he's in no danger, said Brian. Milner was a mistake at right back, said Mark. Again, buddy, love to hear your thoughts, thank you for that, but why? Why do you think he's a mistake? I'd love to hear that. Ha, Craig, you're a gem. I don't know what else to say. I mean, how do you respond to "you're gay"? I mean, he's saying it to me like it's supposed to be a slagging. Like, am I supposed to be offended by saying you're gay? It's factually incorrect, but I fail to see how it's supposed to be offensive. So there you go, it's more homophobia. Again, ridiculous. Why is being gay offensive? Why is it deemed to be offensive? It's crazy. It's crazy. We need to get past this. Fuck's sake. It's ridiculous. Somebody saying you're a gay, like, just to try and have a go at the just say you're fat, you're ugly, you're bald, whatever. But it's not even a slagging. It's just a sexual preference or a sexual choice. And I amn't gay, which is fine. You are gay if you are, which is super. That's your own business. You love who you love. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not having people coming on and being homophobic on the channel. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's the same as slagging somebody for their religion or whatever. It's crazy. I thought we'd move past this, and that's one of the first times that type of shit has happened on the channel. Nonsense. Your daily reminder that DT is a nut, said Alpha G. Oh god, you guys are going to get me banned. Only after getting monetized and you guys are going to get me banned. Okay, I think that fella's after a day. I'm out of his league, mate. Honestly, I mean, I'm definitely out of his league. Spurs are going to win the Champions League. Good man, Joe. They're on the double so this year. They win the league and the Champions League. And Alpha G, I know you're only having a laugh there, mate, but it's actually you are. It's Y-O-U or Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, pal. It's not your. Craig, I think Milner up against Rashford or Martial would be tough. Thank you, Mark, for letting me know. Look, they have pace. There's no doubt in that. Both of them. But is Fabinho any quicker? I don't know. Both of them excellent players. I think both of them could do a job at right back. But at the same time, Mark, I'm hoping that we have them penned in a lot more when they're attacking with us. So I'm hoping we keep the ball a lot more. And I want to batter them. Let's be honest. I want to go out and absolutely tear into them and destroy them. And we're capable of it. I mean, we are capable. If this was any other side coming to Liverpool in the form that they're in, playing the way that they've been, I'd be hoping Liverpool give them a kicking. Your gay used to be happy back then. Well, it's another. Technically, it's another correct way of using the word. It was pure homophobia, absolutely disgusting, ridiculous comment altogether, Charlene. It's just crazy. Congrats on the monetization. Just noticed, Inferno. Thank you, mate. It's it's great. It's brilliant. The monetization is absolutely great, and it's why you won't see me mentioning, you won't see Kofi links being put in the chat or anything anymore, because we got monetized. That's what we wanted all along, which gives us a level playing field, which means we can now take super chats. It means we can get money from advertising, and it gives us a chance to start bringing in some income to the channel, which is brilliant. It's all we ever wanted to do. Craig, the grammar police. Oh, if you think I'm bad, Christopher, you wanna try Connor. The amount of times I'm getting sent stuff by Connor saying there should be a comma here, there should be something here, and I'm not a grammar police. Connor is the grammar, I don't know what's more than police. He's the grammar FBI, or I don't know. He's worse. Trust me, a lot worse. Your daily reminder number 2 from Brian. Liverpool are top of the league, which of course they are. It's probably too early as Hoover's only 16, but maybe he'll be on the bench for the United game. Possibly. You can never rule anything out with Klopp. It's madness. He surprises us all the time. It's great. He wants a pickled cucumber, said Charlene. One more thing to talk about, guys. I want to have a little chat about Alisson Becker. And I want to have a chat about how damn good he is, and what a difference he's made to this Liverpool team since he's come in. And look, it's easy for us to just mess and joke around and me to call him a bearded Adonis and all this stuff, but we've longed for a goalkeeper that was going to win us points for so many years. Pepe Reina was probably the last one I could think of, but we're very early into the time with Alisson at Liverpool, but we can already see that he has an aura around him. It's just we've often said when players are playing against the likes of David De Gea that they feel they had to put the ball right into the corner, or they'd have to put that extra bit on the shot because they were so worried about him saving it, that they were so confident in his abilities that they were doubting themselves. And sometimes that little grain of doubt can be enough to put that into an opposition player's head. And I think we have that now with Alisson. I mean, he is a colossus. When he spreads himself and makes himself look big, he looks just like a giant big bear. It's crazy. Reminds me of Peter Schmeichel said Alpha G, which is very true. So he's had 10 clean sheets, as we know, already this season. He's only conceded, well, in the league that is, sorry. He's only conceded 6 goals in the Premier League. We went into this game last night, a European game, knowing that 1-0 would get us through, or to win by 2 clear goals. And I have to be honest, I thought that they were going to score last night. I thought we were going to get through. I thought we'd win the game 3 or 4-1. But I always thought that Napoli were going to score. I'm still undervaluing how good our defence and our goalkeeper are. Even though I'm on here shouting how great they are, in the back of my mind it's still taking me a while to transition into knowing that we've got a defence and a goalkeeper that are capable of holding out and are capable of keeping clean sheets. It's been a long time since we've had that at this football club, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to go in and get your comments in a couple of minutes, but there's a couple of other things that I've been reading up on as well, particularly around the transfer of Alisson to Liverpool. And I took this from the Echo, so I have to be, I want to give credit to the people that wrote the article. So I was reading the Echo earlier, and there was an article that gave some information about his transfer here. So it said Liverpool were originally quoted £90 million by Roma, by Monchi, sorry, in May, and then £75 million the following month in June when they went to buy him. Now that's a massive amount of money. But Edwards stuck to his guns, the article went on to say, and in July Liverpool got their man for £56 million guaranteed and a further £9 million to potentially follow in add-ons. So £65 million is the figure that's going around now. The figure that the Echo put out that Liverpool bought Alisson Becker for. So £56 million in guaranteed money and £9 million in potential add-ons. That's a little bit less than we thought. But you know what? Whatever it might be, whether it be 65, 70, whatever the hell it is, he has already proved to be worth every single penny. I seen a tweet by somebody earlier on that said we sold Coutinho for X amount, and with that money we basically brought in Virgil van Dijk and Alisson Becker. And you have to say that those two players have made more of a difference to this team than Coutinho could ever have made. And that's not to say it wouldn't have been nice to have them all here, but at the same time, what we can see is that the money has been used to improve the team. Now, we're specifically talking about Alisson Becker in this situation, but I just can't speak highly enough of the guy. And those of you who've been on the stream for a long time know that I spent the entire summer trying to talk to people about why Alisson's the right choice. And I say on here time and time again that I'm no expert. But when it comes to goalkeeping, I do consider it a position that I speak about with some authority, a little bit, having been a position I played in my entire life at a pretty high level from a youth point of view anyway. So I'm always watching goalkeepers. Like, we watch a game, of course I'm going to be watching keepers. And a lot of people I felt were judging Alisson on what they seen against Liverpool in the 2 legs for Roma and the World Cup, both of which weren't his greatest moments. But I'd seen him playing for Roma. And I'd read articles by people who'd watched them. Was it Donny, I think, the former Brazilian keeper, who was talking about him for a very long time. And again, the Echo article said that John Achterberg was told about this guy a very long time ago and told to watch out for him as well. He's immense. We have a goalkeeper here that could be our Peter Schmeichel. And you don't want to compare, but because Peter Schmeichel was one of the all-time greats. But he's absolutely tremendous. And it was a tremendous bit of business by the club to bring him in. Michael Edwards played a blinder to get him, and it was made clear to Michael Edwards in the negotiations that there was Mo Salah tax on this, because Monchi and Roma felt very slighted by the amount of money Liverpool ended up paying for Mo Salah, because we had a bit of leverage on them because they had FFP issues and they had to bring in a certain amount of money. So we always knew that we had a little bit of an upper hand in that deal. So they wanted to make sure Liverpool paid when they came to get Alisson Becker. And, you know, Michael Edwards once again played an absolute blinder. It's a pleasure to have him at the club. And I know from seeing your comments just flashing before I even read them all here, and seeing you guys talking about him over the past couple of weeks, that everybody, to a man or to a woman, is now starting to see the benefits of this goalkeeper and why he was the right choice. And that's not to say that the other option that people were looking at wasn't great. I mean, you can't look at goalkeepers of the calibre of David De Gea and say he's not fantastic in the world. Now, he wasn't one that we were looking at, obviously, but you look at the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper, Jan Oblak, and of course he's fantastic, but I just didn't feel that he was as good a fit to this setup and the way we play as Alisson is. Same way Ederson is for Manchester City. He just suits the style that they play. He's a game changer, said Brian. Alisson is going to be Liverpool's greatest keeper in my lifetime, said Christopher. That's a big shout, mate. Liverpool have one of the best defenders in Van Dijk and one of the worst in Lovren, which is not true at all, Joe. Absolutely not true one bit. Dejan Lovren is a much, much better defender than a lot of people give him credit for. Has he got a mistake in him? Yep, of course he does. There's no denying that. But Dejan Lovren is a top quality defender, and I will argue to the death with anybody that says otherwise. Alisson, the Liverpool king, said Liverpool legend. Tom said, in my humble opinion, Milner be rested for Sunday. He's played 3 hard games in a row and given 110%. If he is rested, who else goes into right back? Fabinho is the only one I can think of. Then we would have the best attacker in the world, Phil Jones. Yeah, what an own goal from him tonight. What a piece of technique. Sir, who according to you has been the best player till now for Liverpool? It's a tough question. There's been some excellent performances this season. I think pound for pound or performance per performance, I think that Gini Wijnaldum has been excellent this season. I think he's been fantastic. Virgil van Dijk has been fantastic. Gomez, fantastic. It's really tough to say. For the past few weeks I've been saying that I think Gini Wijnaldum has been probably our most consistent player. So I'd probably stick with that one, but it's tough because there are a lot of contenders at this point. I mean, it's hard to look past Van Dijk. He's solid every single week. Best keeper in years. Reina, standard he is, says Jay Beckford. Gonna wreck United stand, send them back to Manchester, defeated 3-0. I didn't read that correctly. I just put United stand in there. It says gonna wreck United, send them back to Manchester, defeated 3-0. Sorry. Were we the only ones who wanted Alisson? Surely not. I don't know. I've no idea if Chelsea were interested in him. I think I remember hearing at the time that Chelsea were interested in him, and of course they went on to buy a keeper when they bought Kepa, so maybe they were looking at him as well. I don't know. I'd be lying if I told you I knew, mate. Some more comments. Hang on one sec. Good night, mate. Talk to you soon. He saved us 11 million last night, said Mark, which is absolutely spot on. The qualifying last night between the win yesterday against Napoli and the 8 point something million for going through was worth about 11 million to us, so spot on. Lovren is a half decent Premier League defender. Van Dijk is probably the best in the league. Again, Van Dijk, yes, but Lovren is better than I think you think he might be, Joe. Skipper Dog said Alisson's got us at least 9 extra points this season already. Monchi's signings aren't doing anything. He spent the money he got from 2 players on like 7 or 8, and they're all playing per quality over quantity. People don't forget that. The thing about Monchi and about those players that I would say, Andre, is a lot of them are very young, and it's tough to judge young players in one season. I would say give those people that Monchi brought in 2 or 3 years before judging them. Yeah, we're often as football fans too quick to write people off. And again, I've no fucking interest in whether Roma do well or not. Doesn't make any difference to me, but Monchi has a reputation for bringing excellent young players to clubs and developing them. So I wouldn't write them off just yet, the players that he's brought in. But from our point of view, we've got 2 signings from Roma that have hit the ground running and have been absolutely perfect. Last season, the way we played, they made most keepers look bad, which is true. The way our forwards were playing, we were destroying teams. Who would you like to have in the Champions League draw and why? Said the Football Crew Show. Bayern Munich, mate, because we haven't played them in many, many moons in Europe. There's always the glamour tie of a game against Borussia Dortmund, which will be lovely and a very tricky game. A lot of people were going to tell you they want Real Madrid because they want revenge, but personally I couldn't be arsed with Real Madrid. They don't bother me. I don't really like the club, so I don't even want to play them. So Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and then the easy draw would probably be Porto. But for me, it'd be Bayern Munich. I'd love that game. I think it would be an interesting game over 2 legs, and a game that I think we could get through as well. Alisson can save a lot of things, but not Lukaku's first touch. That's unfixable, said Alpha G. Kath O'Kelly has joined. How are you? This is our greatest ever Premier League side, my opinion. Best centre back I've ever seen at Liverpool. Best goalkeeper I've seen at Liverpool since supporting the club. And best team overall, said Ferno. It's a damn fine side, mate. It's a damn fine side. Not only is Alisson a fantastic keeper, he's such a good looking guy as well, from my point of view, said Charlene. I mean, there you go. I have tremendous beard envy of that man. I mean, I can't grow a beard. I've said that time and time again, but what a beard that is. Alisson is the new Taffarel, said Stephen Richards. Genie or Robbo, said the Revenite for his player of the season so far, which is again 2 good shouts. I want the Alisson nude calendar 2019 for Christmas, said Rod. I mean, maybe we can ask him, mate. Maybe email the club and ask them if they got one on the go. Robbo best player for Andy Robertson, of course. Lara said Robbo. Darren Calvin said VVD. Charlene said Robbo, of course. Her being a massive Andy Robertson fan. Mark as well, Andy Robertson. Always wonder, Craig, did you ever meet any of the exchanges with your fellow Irishman, David Hendrick? Did he ever have? I don't know. I know who Dave Hendrick is. He's the guy of the Anfield Index. I don't think I've ever had any dealings with him that I'm aware of. Yeah, no, I don't think I have, if I'm being honest. But and I was with Anfield Index when I started. I just don't think I was ever on a podcast with him. I certainly know who he is, alright. I don't really have an opinion on him either way because I don't know him personally. I know a lot of people that don't like him, put it that way. But I don't have anything for or against him because I don't know the guy. Real Madrid, Chelsea and Liverpool. However, Real wasn't ready to play more than 40 million, Andre was saying with regards to the keeper. As a Tottenham fan, I think Milner is the best player of the league, said Joe. Well, he's phenomenal. He's just... his work rate is unbelievable. To see a guy of his age with the engine that he has, he's just a testament to fitness and living the right way. Connor Masterson, said Andrew Robertson, as a possibility to come in. Dudek, said Brian Morrissey. I don't know what that's about. VVD for Player of the Year, said Brian. What about the ginger cunt, said Tom. If we're talking about Mr. Bogdan, then he is with Hibernia until the end of the season when his contract runs out at Liverpool, and he will no longer be a Liverpool player. There you go. Pogba or Milner? Obviously Milner. Has to be Milner. You know what you're getting with James Milner. For this team, Milner fits. Just fits. But look, there's no... you can't say Pogba isn't a tremendous footballer. But he just doesn't seem to be at it at the minute for whatever reason. Whether that's a system, style of play, manager, I don't know. I'm not Paul Pogba. I can't really answer that. But James Milner's doing the job for us, so I'll stick with Jimmy. Who remembers Sander Westerveld? I do, Mark, and I don't remember him very fondly. I remember him as being quite arrogant, and some of the stories I'd heard around the guy at the club weren't very flattering either, so don't have many nice things or nice memories of Sander Westerveld. Is it just me that thinks Alisson should model the LFC store range? I don't think it is just you, but we've got a few good looking lads in the squad, to be fair now. A few lads there that know the way around a catwalk. Alisson is good, but not quite Brad Jones level just yet. Funny thing is, Brad Jones got much better when he left Liverpool. He actually went on to have a fairly decent Premier League career. Oh, I said Masterson when you said Klopp develops young players. Thank you, mate. And he certainly does, and he thinks very highly of Connor Masterson. I remember when Connor signed a new deal at the club, hearing Klopp talking about him, and he was very close to the squads a few times at the end of last year. Sad Dara said we need more centre backs. Yes, but again, I don't think we're going to buy one because our two centre backs are out for 6 weeks. That's short term thinking, and clubs don't think that way. I'd rather we promote, gave Phillips a chance, maybe Masterson, and see how we are at the end of the season. Yes, perhaps we go and get another centre back, but that's if we move one of the ones we currently have on. Ziyech had a great game against Bayern today, said Ferno. Cameron said, is it true last season our front three made City defence, or it is true, sorry, it's true, last season our front three made City's defence look silly. Literally nobody questioned their defence. Lovren reaches 2 finals and is questioned non-stop. It's madness. You don't get to where he's got to in the game without being a good footballer. It's just silly to say otherwise. Isn't Brad Jones playing in the Dutch league now? Yes, Feyenoord. Well, he was playing with Feyenoord last I'd seen anyway, and he won the league with them, which is great to see. Teaming up with Dirk Kuyt, I mean, the dream team. What more would you have wanted? We're missing Clavan. Don't say that to Connor, he'll start crying. He really misses Reggie. Can you give my channel a shout out? Put the name in if you can, mate. Happy to help anybody that's on YouTube, of course. When did we last beat United in the league? We owe them a few hidings. I don't know, mate. My memory's like a sieve. I can't remember what I did last week, let alone when the last time we beat a team was. I don't know, I'm sure there's somebody in the chat who'll have that memory. Oh, I'm useless with stuff like this. Facts just aren't my thing. If I have to remember something, I have to study for it before I go on and drill it into my brain. I remember having guys on podcasts before that just remembered small silly little facts from 15 years ago, and I would just look at them and go, how the hell do you remember that? There's no room inside my brain for that amount of information. I believe we might beat Manchester United on Sunday. We will, Dara, we will. Have faith. When is the Champions League draw? Monday at 11 AM UK time, Carter. Brad Jones is in Saudi Arabia now, Ferno said. Nice. It's a good way to finish your career. Do we need a backup winger in January, or is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain getting close to fill that role? Luke, I'd say we need a wide forward or a number 10. I think that's... I've been saying that for ages, and I think a lot of people agree. I don't know what the story is with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, other than it's looking like we might as well write him off for the season at this point. If he comes back and he plays minutes, great. If he comes back in February or March, brilliant. But I don't think we should expect too much from him. It would be unfair of us to, until next season, until he gets really back on his feet and gets fitness and gets games under his belt. Where else are we? Hi Craig, how are you, bro? Klopp move on, boom. I'm very well, thank you. I'm suffering a little bit now with my throat from last night. I'm struggling to speak, so I'm going to head off in a few more minutes. Yeah, it's just after 4.5 hours talking yesterday, my voice is really strained. You should hope Pogba plays. He drags the team down, his mentality full of shit. Sean, I remember speaking to a few United fans recently who said similarly. They think that United play better without Pogba in the team, and to say that, it sounds weird, but you know, I can't argue with these guys. They watch Man United week in, week out. I don't. And you're welcome, Carter, my pleasure. Craig, one of the guests from Redman TV said he had inside information that Fekir's knee surgery was reconstructed by Leon using a dead donor, which killed our interest. That's a big fucking shout to make. That's I don't know what to say to that, Neil. That's a big accusation to make. Yeah, I don't know. I'm baffled by that. I don't even want to touch that, to be honest. The Liverpool front three are extremely overrated, and the midfield and defence carry them. Joe, mate, you really are going for the full-on comedy effect tonight, aren't you? I don't know. Just not going to bother reading your comments out anymore, mate, because you are talking an extreme amount of shite at this point. If you're a Spurs fan, if memory serves me correct, if I think you're a Spurs fan, and if you are a Spurs fan, then to come in here and talk about anybody carrying anybody when you have one man carrying the entire team is comical. We should try and get Ziyech. It won't happen. I don't think we're going to go after him. Yeah, I can't see it happening. The summer would have been the time. 2014, said the Revenue. Looked it up, and the last time he sees was 2014 that we beat United. See, Connor's already sad for Raggy. We should also try and get Kievo or Torgan Hazard. There's been a few rumours around Torgan Hazard, actually. A couple of people were saying that to me. Brian said, I was saying earlier that the keepers I remember are Mignolet, Karius, Reina, David James, Sander Westerveld, Dudek, Friedel, Kirkland and Grobler. And Allison is better than all of them. I mean, that's quite a list you've gone through there, mate. We want our Raggy back, said Tom. Lazy demonetization says, woohoo, make fun of Spurs fans. I mean, he's making fun of himself, to be fair, with those ridiculous comments. Liverpool's front three are crap. I mean, you couldn't make that shit up. I hope United play Philip in defence again, considering how great he is at finishing. There was a beautiful, beautiful finish by him tonight. I mean, world class. Phil Jones, superstar. I miss Glenn Hyson, said Lars. We need some young players, said Carter. We've lots and lots coming through, mate. Don't worry about that. Their under 23s or under 18s are packed with talent. We've got Ryan Brewster coming through as well. He's going to break through into the first team in the next 2 or 3 months. There's lots to come, don't worry. As I said, Joe, I'm not reading out any more of your comments, mate, so you can keep putting them in, but I'm not going to waste my time reading them because you're talking an absolute amount of nonsense. Klopp must respect United because the important 3 points, and I'm worried of missing chances from Mane, Salah, Firmino. Don't be worried. There's no point in worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. Just look forward to the game, let it unfold how it may, and just have faith that the guys will get the job done, because we've got it done most of the time this season when we've had to. We needed to do it last night, they got it done. We always seem to find a way. It's a massive game. It's a game that none of us want to lose, Amir, and am I nervous about it? Yes. Even though we're in good form, it's United. You're always going to have a few nerves. Just tell them to go check out Kinestro YouTube channel. So Kinestro spelled Kinestro. So there's your shout out, Mr. Kinestro Music. Tell them to go and check out Kinestro YouTube channel. I hope that's okay, mate, and I hope you get a few subs, and I hope the channel goes well for you. Have a good night, Craig. I'm off to walk the dog. I look forward to the Gark showdown tomorrow. Guys, I'm going to call it a night as well. My voice is just giving up on me at this point. Thanks a million to everyone that popped in tonight. Thank you for the super chats as well, to the people earlier on. Thank you to any new subscribers that we've gotten over the past week. I hope you continue to enjoy the content. I'll be back tomorrow at 10:15. I'll be on the United stand tomorrow at about 8 o'clock as well for a preview there with Mr. Mark Goldbridge ahead of the United game on Saturday. I hope you can join us tomorrow again. Sorry about leaving a few minutes early, but my voice is it's absolutely gone at this point. My nose is killing me as well. Love to all of you. Look after yourselves, look after your family, and up the motherfucking Reds.